Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have Gouki Infernoble. Never thought I'd be mixing these two decks together. And basically you're able to do all your Infernoble combos while having a Gouki rematch in your hand, which can extend your synchro plays even further. So we're going to be going second against the new Magistus deck. I don't really think the deck is that great in my opinion. At most they can just do a couple of draws. I think he should have just popped his Artemis to get an extra draw, but that's just my opinion. So basically, this is an earlier build where I was playing Blue Mountain Butter Spy. I've decided to take that out as it did take out a bit of space, and he's going to negate my Twist Cobra, unfortunately, so that's bad. We're going to activate a Soul, that will get ashed, but we can still do stuff. We have Olivia in our hand, which can summon itself, and we also have Renaud, which can summon itself again. We can search for Durendal, and then Durendal can search a Fire Flint Lady, which we will later just summon out, and then we can go into Formula Synchron. Formula Synchron gets us a draw. And since we have a level 2 tuner, we can just go off to the games with our Link Cross, summoning 2 tokens, summoning Metal Marcher, which will bring back the Link Formula Synchron, which goes into Halky Firebrax, which summons Jet Synchron. We go into Arclight, then we go into Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon, which summons its 3 tokens. We're going to activate Phoenix Blade because we can't discard a monster for the effect of Jet Synchron because of Herald. We're gonna Tribute 2 for Olion. Next we go into Roland, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. It kind of protects against Ash, but I guess he already used Ash. We're gonna get the Savage Dragon when we get discard 1, and he surrenders. There were multiple things I could have done. I could have chosen to either go for a second Herald, which would have resulted in some good things, or I could have chosen to well, I could always go into second Herald, but after that second Herald I could have also gone into Charlemagne in my main phase too, which means I would have been able to loop one card out of his hand, which is very powerful. And I guess the hand loop is sometimes more important than just the negate itself. But that was our first duel. It just shows that this deck can play through around 1 interruption or not, just because of the sheer amount of consistency I guess it has. You have cards like Heritage of the Chalice that gets you an extra search. You have cards like Renaud, which retrieves cards like say if you milled a Durendal off your soul, then you can retrieve that, get an extra search. Durendal itself is an extra search, and pretty much Rhoda is another search too. So they're running a lot of copies of a lot of cards in this deck. So let's go on to our next duel now. For this duel we're up against Malefics. So let's see how we do. We're going first. We are going to equip our Twist Cobra with Durendal, which will trigger searching a copy of Flint Lady. We're going to summon it, and then we get the search of Twist Cobra and our Soul. Get a search for Re-Scorpio and an Octastretch. Our Soul will trigger, dumping 4 to summon Olivia. Next we go into Link Cross, and pretty much you can you usually only get the Gouki rematch portion if you have a way to getting to a Renaud or an Olivia. But still we can just do our normal Infernoble combo. Nothing too Gouki in this part, but I guess Gouki's run the level 5 Re-Scorpio, meaning if you make it Tatsunoko, you can just use a Re-Scorpio instead of something like something else. The main reason why I went for this combo and not the stronger combo, which where you summon cards like Genba, it's mainly because I did draw the Auroradon, not Auroradon, Olion. So if you draw Olion in Infernobles, you just have to take this path of the combo. We're going to equip our Olivia to Charlemagne just because it gives it extra protection, and then during the end phase Charlemagne will equip 2, and then we get a pop. I accidentally added an Ogier to my hand off Roland's effect. I thought I was resolving Charlemagne to see which I would equip, so I tried to equip Ogier, but I realized no. So I scouted his hand. I saw that he had the 1-for-1, so I decided to get rid of that. But unfortunately, I have a very bad short-term memory, so I forget that he had a Terraforming and a Malefic World, so you can just search one even if I do pop it, which was very stupid of me. I should have just saved it for something else, but he's gonna activate Mystic Mine. I negated. If he has any other monster effects, I can negate with Gearfried. He's gonna summon Stardust Dragon, attack over my Mecha Phantom Beast, and concede. I guess I could have just, I can kind of take control of his thing right there with my Phoenix. On top of that, during the end phase, I would have been able to hand loop him once again, or since I knew that that card was a blue white, I could have just popped the Stardust Dragon itself and easily ODK'd him from there. Malefics are trash, please don't play Malefics, and let's go straight to our last duel now. So here we are on our last duel. I guess this duel is a bit more gooky, but let's see how it goes. We start off with the search of Heritage of the Chalice. We get search for Renaud. We're going to normal summon Suprex, which will get us Twist Cobra. We're just getting this smoke grenade in the graveyard. Don't worry about that. We're gonna get to search 3 cards: Re-Scorpio of the Soul, Off the Stretch, and a Rematch. Isolde will trigger, summoning out a Fireflint Lady. And the reason why we summon that Fireflint Lady, you'll see in a second. It's mainly because it's a Fire Warrior for Renaud, and then we can just swap it out for an Octostretch. The Octostretch play wasn't really required since we already had Gouki Rematch. But I guess more never hurt. So we're gonna get the draw of Synchron and the search of our Octostretch. We're gonna go into Link Cross to summon 2 tokens. Then we go into Metal Marcher, which will summon Formula Synchron. Then we can go into a Tatsunoko, which will help us go into Borlo Savage. We're gonna go into a Halkify Brax from here, which will summon a Jet Synchron. And next we'll go into Mega Phantom Beast Auroradon. Now, a crucial part in this point, since I did hard draw the Olion, we'll have to kind of improvise on our combo right here. So we're gonna activate Mega Phantom Beast Auroradon to tribute itself and destroy one of its tokens, so that we can discard the Olion, summon Jet Synchron, and then Olion will generate a token. Next we can go into an Arclight. Since we recovered a Living Fossil earlier off our Renaud summon, and if you didn't catch that, I forgot to mention it. We can go into a Coral Dragon, then into a Charles. We get the extra draw, and then we can use Olivia to summon itself, and then we can use Gouki Rematch to summon some more cards. I misclicked. I meant to summon Twist Cobra right here, which would have helped us go into another Arclight, but I guess we didn't really have anything else to go into except the Roland because of my misclick. So I'm going to be equipping Olivia just because, just for protection. And then our little Charles will trigger, just equipping Ogier and Smoke Grenade, and then we get the pop of Smoke Grenade, and we hand loop the Doki Doki out of his hand. So I would have ended on an extra negate, but I'm fine with that. He's gonna go ahead summon Colisolate from his hand, and then he normal summons Destruction Sword. He tries to activate Monster Reborn so that I guess he could go into Halkify Brax or something, but I negated, and pretty much he kind of loses. If he had hard drawn the Doki Doki, I guess it could have been different for him, but I still had my extra Savage negate, which is bad for him. And yep, those were kind of duels. Just shows that having an extra double Monster Reborn in addition to a synchro combo is actually very good. So let's go straight to the deck profile now. So here's the deck, and we run, let's see, I haven't counted myself, 4, 7, 9, and 11 Goukis. These are kind of mandatory, and we'll just get to them later. We run 3 copies of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. This is kind of necessary mainly because sometimes in some variations of the combo you do need to play around the Biru. You don't need to really play around the Biru in your Gouki combos necessarily, because you don't really have enough space for that, because usually you won't have the space for your Auroradon tokens then. But Gearfried is just nice to have. I was thinking of maybe cutting it down to 2 because it isn't that useful with the Goukis, but I'm just cutting it down for 2 for now. 1 copy of Re-Scorpio. You're mainly going to use it for your Tatsunoko play, and it's not that bad to open either, as it just acts as another Gouki. 3 copies of Suprex. 3 copies of Suprex just helps you get another Gouki, meaning you'll get just 2 searches instead of 1, which is very nice. 2 copies of Ogier. Ogier is comes up in a combo with Renaud, but not necessarily, because it does kind of conflict with your Goukis, because mainly you're gonna save your normal summon for the Goukis and then summon a Fireflint Lady afterwards. But I guess you can run 2 Ogier. Sometimes you can also just choose to take out the Ogier. Maybe you can just put in 1 if you want, because its most prominent feature in this deck specifically is just protecting Charles from card destruction. So I might cut this down to 1, and I might put in some Butter Spies just as an extra extender for the Goukis. But once again, you can just change the deck however you like. 2 copies of Olivier. Not only does it act as an extra extender, it also does come up sometimes in your combos, but it's also a very good card to draw, and it does also protect your Charlemagne. Not Charles. I'm so used to its OCG name. Charles from your targeted destruction, which is very nice. 3 copies of Twist Cobra. This is a really good Gouki, mainly just to push for your game. Just off Suprex and your Twist Cobra alone, I believe you get 5200 damage off those 2 alone. If you're attacking directly, of course. And Twist Cobra is just a nice Gouki to have. On top, that's a level 3. So if you have some of your monsters like Renaud or your Jet Synchron, you can always just go into an Arc Light 2, which is nice about that. 2 copies of Headbat. We run 2. It's just another Gouki that can summon itself, but it does require you to have another Gouki in your hand, which doesn't come up too often. But Headbat's just another free Gouki. That's a level 2, so you can go into cards like Metal March or Tatsunoko if you haven't already. 1 copy of Olion. We just run 1. It's okay if we hard draw it, mainly because in terms of Infernobles, you can just go into another combo if you hard draw it. But 1 copy of Olion is just enough. 1 copy of Genba. The 1 copy is just fine enough. Just even if you hard draw it, you can summon Fireflame Lady and use its effect to swap it out for a what do you call it, Genba. So Genba is just nice as it is an extra level 2 tuner, which can help you go into cards like Tatsunoko and your Metal Marcher off your Link Cross tokens, which is nice. 3 copies of Renaud. You want to see this as often as possible because it is kind of necessary if you want to do your very cool juicy Gouki combo. So we run 3 of it. 1 copy of Jet Synchron. This is usually what you summon up Hulk. If you in your Infernoble combo, if you're not doing the Gouki combo and you're just doing the Infernobles, then you want to summon this over your Olion. 3 copies of Fireflame Lady. You want to see this as much as possible too, along with your Goukis. 2 copies of Octostretch. Once again, it's just a free Gouki, and on top of that, it does have a battle-related effect that doesn't come up too often. And also, this card wins games against Dragon Link FTK. 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army, just to search another card. 3 copies of Heritage of the Chalice. Just searches your Renaud or Durendal if you need a Fireflame Lady. 2 copies of Gouki Rematch. You usually just run 2 because the game is usually over within 2 turns. Not within 2 turns, but you won't really get to a game state where you do need that 3rd copy. 2 is just fine. 3 copies of Callaway Grave for hand drops. 1 copy of Phoenix Blade. It's kind of important if you already have Herald up and you're trying to trigger your Jet Synchron and you only have monsters. The Phoenix Blade does come up sometimes, but it can just infinitely recur itself. On top of that, it can sometimes act as an equip spell for your Gearfried, which is sometimes comes up, but it's just very nice. 1 copy of Living Fossil. Living Fossil, if you mill it off a soul and you summon Renaud and recover it, that's where Living Fossil gets really spicy, just being an extra monster reborn for your synchro plays. 3 copies of Durendal. Searches all your Fire Warriors. Mainly you're going to be searching Fireflint Lady if you're going for your Goukis, or you'll be searching your Renaud if you already have Flint Lady. 1 copy of Smoke Grenade of the Thief. That's our last card. Just hand loops with your Charlemagne. And let's go to the extra deck. 1 copy of Charles. This not only does this hand loop with your Smoke Grenade, but if you have Roland in your graveyard right here, during your opponent's turn you can equip Roland, which will trigger Charles, which will pop a card, which is nice. 1 copy of Savage Dragon. It's an extra negate, which never hurt anybody. 1 copy of Coral Dragon. The extra. Usually, if you do have one of these level 3 tuners with 2 more Savage Dragon tokens, you can go into Coral Dragon and then into your Charles, mainly because it will get you an extra draw that way. 1 copy of Lancelin. This does sometimes come up if you're not doing your Gouki combo. I'm thinking of cutting it out because I'm also thinking of cutting out Ogier. 1 copy of Roland. This is important sometimes just to get your Smoke Grenade in graveyard, and it also can as a quick effect it can equip itself to your Charles, which helps it get an extra pop. 2 copies of Arclight, not only is it Macrocosmos, it's also Negate, and the 2 copies do sometimes come up because sometimes you do end on double Herald. 1 copy of Tatsunoko, you just use it to synchro with the Re-Scorpio in your hand into a Savage. 1 copy of Metal Marcher, just to revive a card, and sometimes that revived card can go into Tatsunoko. Metal Marcher just turns 1 tuner into 2 tuners, which is very important. 1 copy of Formula Synchron. In terms of your Gouki combo, your Formula Synchron is invaluable, just getting an extra draw. And for our remaining extra deck, we have Auroradon for our combo. 2 copies of Soul, in case one of them fails, then the second copy does come through. 1 copy of Halqifibrax to summon either your Jet Synchron or your Olion. And finally 1 copy of Link Cross, just generates tokens for synchro plays. And that's the deck. If I were to change something, then I would honestly like to take out Ogier, maybe just leave it to 1 at most, and maybe we can put in something like more Butter Spies, which is the Butter Spies are just invaluable extenders in the deck on top of just chain blocking against cards like Gamma, which is nice. And that's kind of the whole deck. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a very fun deck to play with. If I were to rate it, then I'd kind of rate it a 4 out of 5 in consistency, 4.5 out of 5 in terms of the power the board generates, and in terms of resilience against cards like Nibiru, this deck can bait out a couple of hand traps. As you saw in that first duel I did play through 2 interruptions, which this deck can do, and this deck is just very fun to play with. Do mess around with it, change whatever you want, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, as it really does help the channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.